my name is Hiroshi Ezura from University of Tsukuba, Japan. So today I'm going to I would like to introduce the commercialization of gene-edited crop, which is a case study of the application of gene editing technology, which is a new breeding techniques which can introduce a technology to make mutants crops. But the mutation breeding has been already used for a long time, and but this new technique we can precisely introduce a mutation of target gene of interest. So today can I share my slide? Okay. Okay, so I prepared 23 slides today, and then I have recorded because I have a lot of slides today, and then I would like to start my presentation now. Okay. Okay, so now we start.
Dr. Ezura, are you muted?
No. You can't hear.
It's very soft.
You cannot hear.
We cannot hear. We cannot hear you, Dr. Ezura.
Can I hear?
Not yet.
Not
we
yet.
Cannot hear you. So we still cannot hear you, Dr. Ezura.
I will. Okay, so can I use the other slide? Okay, so because
yes, sir.
Okay, so then I will use another slide. I don't know why we cannot use it, but anyway, so I will use another slide. Well,違うな。これか。Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry. There is some problem in my computer. So then I have to start my presentation from the first slide. Okay. Today's my topic is high GABA tomato road to commercialization. This is actually a first crop commercialized. First crop produced by gene editing technology. Some people say genome editing technology. It's the same meaning. And okay, so the Japanese government funded a project which promotes the application of gene editing technology for the improvement of agriculture crop products. So this is a result of the national project. That means that our government is pushing to use these new techniques. Okay, so in this development, I use gene editing technology. And so far, there is a many gene editing technology, but in this development, we use CRISPR-Cas9, which is the gene editing technology, the third generation gene editing technology. It is more convenient to other gene editing technology already reported. So anyway, so in this development, we use this technique, and the gene editing technique is a technology to introduce a endogenous mutation of the endogenous gene, and introduce a mutation to the endogenous genes. Anyway, so we use I use this technique to introduce a mutation in the target gene. So we targeted the as a first products to apply the new technology. We selected the trait for improving the nutritional quality of agricultural products, especially in tomato. And here you can see the health promoting compound, which is included in different kind of crops, which is a GABA, gamma aminobutyric acid. We abbreviated GABA, and which is a non-proteogenic amino acid and found in all organisms, including animals, plants, and bacteria, which I mentioned, explained, and which is involved in the biotic and abiotic stress responses in those organisms. But for human, GABA is well studied in human. Its function as a neurotransmitter, and because of this function, when we take GABA orally, it's reduce blood pressures and also induce a relaxation that improves sleep. So because of this function, health promoting function of this GABA, Japanese many food company use this amino acid as a food additive, and then they already commercialize different kind of food which is enriched by GABA, this amino acid, like a chocolate and some other. And so far, we have almost 400 GABA-enriched food commercialized already in Japan so far. So that means the GABA is a very, very famous health promoting ingredient in the food, like vitamin C's in Japan. So to start the development of our project, I think that the motivation or why we use this new technique for the improvement of our food is very, very important. So here you can see the population structure changes in Japan. And in 1975, we have a lot of young generation. That means that Japan was a very, very active country. And also the 2000, we have a lot of middle ages, and still Japan is active ages. But now we are 2021, and now we have a lot of aged population. In Japan, aged population means that more than 65 years old. And then now we are expecting the more than 40% of Japanese population will be 65 years old in 2050. So that's mean, and also the 2075, we have a lot of carbohydrates. That means like rice and or some tuber crops. And but now we are taking a lot of fat and also protein. Both changes like population structure and also changing the food habit, resulting in the increase of lifestyle-related diseases like high blood pressures and diabetics and obesity and so on. And now Japanese people is suffering from such kind of lifestyle-related diseases. And of course, we can use some medical treatment. Medical treatment is important, but sometimes medical treatment is costly, and many people cannot use it. So that's why the health promotion via daily food or meal would be an alternative choice to improve this kind of situation. But because of this situation in Japan, we decided to improve the nutritional quality of the agriculture products using a new breeding techniques, gene editing technologies. So my laboratory almost spent 10 years to understanding how to tomato accumulate the GABA in the tomato fruits, and this is a metabolic pathway of to show how GABA metabolized in the tomato fruits. And that based on these studies, we find key genes that mean which can regulate the GABA accumulation in the tomato fruits. And then also we got some idea to regulate the GABA accumulation in the tomato fruits. Okay. So, and we from such a basic study, we know that if we introduce the mutation in the GABA sensitive genes, and so that can we expect that mutation can increase the GABA accumulation in the tomato fruits. So then we use gene editing technology, in this case CRISPR-Cas9 techniques. We introduce a point mutation into the GABA sensitive genes, and then as you can see here, you can see the GABA accumulation in the tomato fruits. And the wild type is the original line. And then those orange lines show the mutant line. GABA content in the mutant line created by gene editing technology. As clearly you can see, the GABA content in the tomato fruits is completely increased, as you can see here. And then in the next experiment, because of the tomato has been used as a F1 hybrid crops. So then we made a F1 hybrid with a high GABA tomato created by gene editing, and also other parental line, and made F1 hybrid. And then we are expecting that this F1 hybrid should show a higher GABA accumulation. That means that that high GABA trait must be a dominant trait. And then we evaluated the GABA accumulation in the F1 hybrid lines, and as we expected, and we measure the GABA accumulation at the different fruits developmental stages, including a mature green stage, breaker stages, and red ripe stages, where we harvest the fruits. And as you can see here, the white bar shows a control, but these two bars show the independent line, F1 hybrid line. It shows a 4 to 5 times higher GABA accumulation, the actual amount of this one. And according to the study in the human, I think 10 milligrams to 15 milligrams to enough to get reduce their blood pressure and also make a relaxation. So then maybe one small tomato, 10 grams to 20 grams of tomato is enough to get such a effect to the human. So up to here, this is a proof of concept experiment. So that's why to make a commercial cultivar line, we need to get a license, because CRISPR-Cas9 is a patented technology by different institutions. So in a Japanese system, a university cannot get a commercial license from the company. So that's why I decided to establish venture companies from our spin out from our university. The name is a Sanatec Seed here, and then we established the Sanatec Seed in 2018 to promote the commercialization of new products. Okay, and so then in this company, I worked as a CTO, and actually, so here is a map of the gene editing technologies patent. In brief, there is 3 important basic patents for CRISPR-Cas9 technology, 1, 2, 3, and which are held by different stakeholders. But so then we need to use this technology as a commercially. We need to get a license from these 3 institutions. Then in the field of animal or medical sciences, the application of CRISPR-Cas9 is patenting system is quite complicated. But fortunately, in the field of crop improvement, this company, Corteva or Corteva Agricultural Science, this company accumulated these 3 patents into this company. So then just we need to discuss with Corteva to how to use these commercial licenses. So then fortunately, we got the commercial license from Corteva in 2018, and then we start the development of actual commercial cultivar using these new techniques. And then in a few years, we finished developing a new cultivar in 1.5 years using these new techniques. We engineered the parent line of the commercial cultivar, and then we made a high GABA tomato cultivar using this new technology in 2019, and then the Japanese government already started the discussion how to regulate or how to handle these new products, these new techniques. And the Japanese government spent, I think that it's spent almost 5 years to finalize their regulation rule. And then 2019, our government finalized a regulation rule for all these gene-edited crops. And then we started consultation with the Japanese government in 2019, just after the complete establishment of the new rules. And just before Christmas last year, we finished the notification our products to the Japanese government. And then the name is a new cultivar produced by this gene editing technology, which is the Sicilian Rouge High GABA. This is actual name of the gene edited tomato, which is commercialized. And we finished the notification to the government last December. And then we start the commercialization this year, 2021. And this Sicilian Rouge High GABA is the first gene edited crop commercialized in Japan, and also the first gene edited crop commercialized, produced by CRISPR-Cas9 technique all over the world, I think. Okay, so this is a brief explanation of regulation rule in Japan. These new techniques, gene editing techniques, has been categorized into 3 groups: SDN1, SDN2, SDN3, or sometimes type 1, type 2, type 3, we say. And if we produce the our products by SDN1, and those products are excluded from GMO. This is a Japan regulation, brief explanation of Japanese regulation. I think that tomorrow, other Japanese speaker is going to introduce more detail about the regulation rule. But anyway, our products produced by this SDN1. So that's why our products is excluded from GMO. And here you can see the some Japanese system to how to develop and notify the government. And that in Japan, before commercialization, we need developer have to notification to the to ministry, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and Food, and also the Ministry of Health and Welfare. And this MAF is for safety, biodiversity, safety assessment information we have to provide, and also the to the MHLW we have to provide the food safety information. The information we have to provide is similar to the GMO. Not heavy like a GMO, but anyway, so we spend prior consultation for almost 1 year, and then after 1 year, at December 11 last year, we completed the notification to the for cultivation and for food and for feed. So then we can grow this gene edited tomato anywhere in Japan, and also we can eat any way for fresh and for processed both, like a normal tomato. So and from here, and we saw that the here you can see the sun label, and our company has decided to make a labeling to our gene edited tomato because of this is the first gene edited tomato. The labeling is not mandated in Japan so far, but this company decided to make a labeling because of it. It is the first gene edited crop going to be commercialized in Japan, and this labeling includes that the following 2 information: that is, this tomato has been improved by gene editing technologies, and also the notification to MAF and MHLW has been completed. So then the consumer or user can understand what they are eating, consuming so far. And in the next step, we decided discussed about how to provide our product to the consumers. And here you can see the traditional value chain or supply chain. And the seed company and sells the seed to farmers, and the farmers to sell products to supermarket, and then consumer can buy fruits from the supermarket, grocery stores. But in this, this is a fast products, and if they are only even a small number of farmers or even a small number of consumers, they are opposite to these products. Maybe farmer don't want to grow, and the supermarket don't want to handle it. So that's why we decided to new approaches, and then we try to provide our products directly to the consumers. Because of the, here you can see the consumer is, especially for, we decided to initially provide those products to the home gardeners, because home gardener is they grow the tomato by themselves, and also the harvested fruits they can eat. So then they are the kind of a prosumer, so they can feel what is a new tomato, and they can feel the effect of the or taste of these new products. So then we decided to provide free samples to the home gardeners as a first step, and then we decided to provide our seedlings to the home gardeners, and free as a free monitor samples, and then we try to get feedback using like LINE and some other social medias, as you can see here. Then we can make a communication directly with the consumers. But anyway, surprisingly, after the completion of the notification to the government, we announced that we are going to provide the free samples to the home gardeners. And surprisingly, we had more than 5,000 applications. And then finally, we provided the 4,200 samples all over the world, from the Okinawa region to Hokkaido region, from south to north. And this is a free samples, and we also provided make a consultation via the LINE, and also we provided the growing handbook. And then so now more than 4,000 consumers grow our gene-edited tomato by themselves, and then they harvested, and now they enjoy our plants. So this is a D2 marketing system, and during the communication with social media, those home gardeners requested us to provide the fresh fruits, because they cannot grow the tomato in the winter. So that's why we find a contracted farmer and ask produce the fresh fruits. And this September, we start selling the fresh fruits also to the consumers. And they look quite enjoy to our products. And the advantage of this D2C marketing is consumers can our Sicilian Rouge High GABA tomato, gene-edited tomato, can directly buy anytime, anywhere. And also then we can establish by the directional communications. And also then we decided to use a contracted farmer. Then we can control all products. That makes increase traceability of our new products. But at this moment, so now we are getting very, very positive feedback from those Japanese consumers, but not all. But which situation is, I think, better than a GMO in Japan. So this is the final slide which I wanted to share. The new era of rapid and precise breeding, but gene editing technology is coming, and then allow us the automate breeding for sustainable and nutritional food production. This is the last slide. Thank you very much for your attention. And I'm pleased to have your question about the our initial challenge of application of gene editing technology for the crop improvement. Okay, thank you very much.